As theme parks across the globe install new coasters, they're always trying to create unique experiences which break the boundaries of what was previously possible. In recent years, rides have become taller, faster and loopier than ever before. Modern ride technology allows rides to contain more intense elements, along with a smooth, comfortable ride experience. You're watching Theme Park Realm, and today we're taking a look at the world's top 10 roller coasters. Now, before we get started, I do want to point out that these rides have been selected from Europe and from the USA. I have considered other countries, but there's nothing else that I think really beats the rides on the list already. The list itself should be considered a bucket list, and many of the coasters are ones that I hope to get on at some point in the future. Very likely you will have different opinions. I'd be interested to hear what your top 10 coaster list would be, so please let me know in the comments down below. So, starting the list at number 10 is Helix at Liseberg Amusement Park in Sweden. Helix opened in April 2014, and the coaster is manufactured by Mack Rides. The coaster features 2 LSM launches throughout its layout. What I love about this coaster is the terrain that it's built on. Much of Liseberg is built on the side of a hill, and this coaster makes use of the terrain, and I doubt many of the supports are on the same level as each other. The coaster dominates the skyline of the park with its green track and multiple inversions. The trains of the coaster are standard Mack Rides trains, featuring lap bars along with some futuristic lighting. The coaster station is also very modern and looks fantastic at night. The ride starts with a fair drop out of the station and a corkscrew. That's before even the first launch, and the coaster reaches a top speed of 62 miles per hour and a top height of 41 meters throughout its layout. Riders experience up to 4.3 Gs throughout the layout, and there is also a total of 7 inversions. So in at number 9 is Untamed. Walibi Holland opened Untamed in July 2019. Since then, the ride has become one of the most popular bucket list attractions within Europe. Untamed is a Rocky Mountain construction hybrid coaster. The ride replaced Robin Hood, the park's previous wooden coaster. Robin Hood was built by Vekoma and opened in 2000. The ride closed in 2018 to make way for Untamed. As with much of Rocky Mountain Construction's other work, Untamed uses much of the previous Robin Hood support structure. Rocky Mountain Construction have built upon this to create an entirely unique experience. Untamed features a huge array of unique elements. Riders are pushed out of the station, straight into what is quite possibly one of the strangest turnaround sections I've ever seen. Once over the lift hill, the train falls straight into a near vertical drop, and the ride features 5 inversions and up to 14 airtime moments throughout its layout. The elements on the ride include a step-up underflip and a double inverting stall. The ride was actually ranked number 5 on the Golden Ticket Awards for Best New Roller Coaster in 2019. So if you ever find yourself in Holland, Untamed is definitely worth a visit. Banshee opened at Kings Island in 2014. The ride was designed and built by Bolliger & Mabillard. The ride was the park's biggest ever investment at the time it opened, costing a whopping $24 million. The ride opened as the longest inverted coaster ever built and features some absolutely huge elements. Banshee was also the first ever B&M Extreme inverting coaster to feature vest restraints. This has received mixed reviews, but the trains are much more modern than most other inverted B&Ms, and we expect other new installs in the future will follow this new design. Banshee starts with a left turn straight into its huge lift hill. Once exiting the lift hill, riders are plunged straight into a near 50-meter drop. The bottom of the drop is then followed by a huge dive loop and a vertical loop which actually loops around the lift hill itself. The ride has basically taken every standard inverted coaster element and increased it in size massively. Throughout the ride there are a total of 7 inversions. The ride duration is a total of 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and due to the coaster being built on uneven terrain, the ride actually reaches its maximum speed halfway through the layout, meaning it only gets more intense up until that point. Banshee has been very well received amongst fans and critics alike. The ride has consistently ranked in the top 50 coasters since it was built. Shikra opened at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay in May 2005. The ride is a huge dive coaster. This coaster was also built by Bolliger & Mabillard. When the ride originally opened, it broke several records. It was the longest, tallest and fastest dive coaster ever built at the time. It was also the first to include a splashdown element, a section of low track surrounded by a lake, which would be used to help slow the trains down. Another interesting fact about Shikra is that it was technically the first B&M dive coaster to feature a completely vertical drop, as both Oblivion at Alton Towers and the G5 diving machine in Taiwan Both failed to reach complete vertical drops. This was due to engineering limitations at the time. Shikra really is an amazing ride. The coaster dominates the park skyline with its huge 90-degree drop. Riders reach a top speed of 70 miles per hour at the bottom of the first drop, and riders can expect to encounter 4 Gs as they fly around its layout. It's worth noting that the coaster also features not 1 but 2 drops, and it was also the first ever B&M dive machine to feature an inversion. In July 2007, after a few years of operation, the park decided to upgrade the ride's trains to floorless cars. This enhanced the experience even further. The ride station was modified, meaning that the floor that riders enter from is left behind, and riders race around the layout with nothing below their feet. This change was very well received amongst fans, and the ride's floorless trains remain to this day. Now, this is a strange one, and probably not a ride which many people have on their top 10 list, but Time Traveller at Dollywood really caught my attention when it opened in March 2018. What's special about this ride is how unique it is. The ride is arguably the most extreme spinning coaster the world has ever seen. Time Traveller was manufactured by Mack Rides. Mack Rides are well known for creating smooth, enjoyable launch coasters, and their trains are some of the most comfortable on the market at the moment, allowing riders to experience inversions with only a lap bar holding them in. Time Traveller was the first ever Mack Extreme spinner. This ride features 2 LSM launches, along with a maximum drop angle of 90 degrees, and even 3 inversions. These are all world first elements for a spinning coaster, and this ride certainly caught critics' attention too, as it was voted the second best new coaster in the Golden Ticket Awards for 2018. Not only was this ride a record breaker, but the theming is also incredible. The amount of detail on its trains is fantastic. The trains themselves also have eddy current brakes on board, allowing the spin of each car to be controlled as the train speeds throughout the layout. Thunderbird at Holiday World is still to this day the only LSM launched B&M coaster, and the only launched wing coaster the manufacturers created. This ride isn't just high up on my list because of this uniqueness. I absolutely love B&M wing coasters. I think they provide a smooth and intense experience. Thunderbird has taken an already brilliant ride model and improved it even further, with the huge launch section and inversions this ride has to offer. Riders are propelled from 0 to 60 miles per hour in little over 3 seconds before entering the first of 4 inversions throughout its layout. Thunderbird opened in April 2015 and was also ranked highly by the Golden Ticket Awards, reaching 5 in the Best New Coaster category for that year. Over the last few years, Untamed have been creating some absolutely insane new coasters, arguably some of the smoothest and most intense coasters the world has ever seen. But Taran at Phantasialand took both intensity and theming to a whole new level when it opened in June 2016. Taran is a multi-launch coaster set within a mythical Norse village. The ride is heavily themed, and when I say heavily, I mean I don't think it's actually possible to get a photo of this coaster without seeing the theming in the background. Once dispatched from the station, riders enter the first rapid LSM launch. The ride weaves its way in between the buildings and theming around the area, and the maximum height of the coaster is around 30 metres, meaning riders are really able to feel its speed as it goes round. The coaster broke several world records when it opened, including the fastest multi-launch coaster, the longest multi-launch coaster, and the most intersecting track points on any coaster, something which isn't hard to believe from looking at its layout. Kingda Ka opened at Six Flags Great Adventure in May 2005. When this mammoth ride was originally built, it was the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world. The ride is manufactured by Untamed and makes use of a hydraulic launch system, which helps push the train to a top speed of 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. The peak of the ride's top hat element is 139 metres up in the air. It also features one of the longest brake runs I think I've ever seen. Unfortunately, the ride is no longer the fastest in the world, but it is still the tallest, and I just think there's something about this ride. The fact that riders are launched straight up almost vertically and then straight back down again is just fantastic. Riders experience a maximum of 5 Gs throughout the layout of the coaster, and this is one incredible ride, and one that I hope will be running for many years to come. Gatekeeper is another incredible coaster located at Cedar Point. This ride was designed to be an integral part of the theme park's entrance. The ride officially opened in May 2013, and the coaster broke several world records. Gatekeeper featured the highest inversion in the world at the time, with its huge inverted drop. It also broke several wing coaster records as well, breaking the record of height, speed, track length, drop length and number of inversion. This coaster looks spectacular both on and off ride. The coaster's location right next to the coast provides incredible views, whilst the coaster's huge inversions will leave riders terrified. In terms of stats, the ride features a top speed of 67 miles per hour, it has a maximum drop height of 50 metres and a total of 6 inversions, 2 of which are directly above the park's entrance plaza. Fury 325 is another Bolliger and Mabillard coaster. This is a hyper coaster and it reaches a top height of 99 metres or 325 feet, hence its name. The ride begins with riders entering its huge lift hill before being plunged straight down into an 81-degree drop. At the bottom of the drop, the trains reach their maximum speed of 95 miles per hour. Fury 325 was another record-breaking coaster when it first opened at Carowinds in 2015. The ride became the world's tallest giga coaster, and the ride is also tied first place for the fastest chain lift coaster in the world. It's also worth noting that this ride is the tallest B&M coaster ever built. The ride has also fared very well in the Golden Ticket Awards. It's consistently ranked number 1 since 2016, and I think what makes this ride incredible is the elements. Many hypercoasters just go up and down with a load of airtime hills, but this coaster twists and turns very low to the ground, meaning that it can maintain a high speed, whilst also providing the odd pop of airtime here and there. It's a fantastic layout for this type of coaster. So that's my top 10 world coasters list for 2020. Now, the list may change over the next few years or so I will be sure to keep everyone updated if it does, and I will upload another video. But for the time being, that's how it's going to be. There are some incredible rides here, and certainly some of the best in the world. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let me know what your top 10 list would be. I'd be dead interested to hear what other people's opinions are on this. So let me know in the comments down below what your top 10 coasters would be. Other than that, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will be uploading again in 2021. Thanks for watching.